Welcome back to Martin James Designs. Back in the shop, number 7 for the Sporty bobber build. You saw the engine get painted and all that sorted out last episode. Now we're finally getting to powder coating. It's one of my favorite things to do. So I've got all the parts organized, ready to go. I'm gonna start cleaning them and I'll show you guys what color I've chose and we're gonna get right to it. So now that we painted the engine, I've gone and separated all of the parts I'm gonna get started with. There's still a whole bunch of other stuff that needs to be powder coated, cleaned, and all of that. But for now, this is the starting point. We have engine components over here. All of these bolts, this is gonna be for the front end, derby cover, it's gonna cam cover, headlights. This is all gonna be for the engine, our front end. We're gonna do the kickstand, the rear flywheel, and then these are all the components for the forks, triple trees, things like that. This is for the rear struts that we did, the supports. We're gonna be powder coating that bracket we made. And all of this is going to go one color. I've chosen the matte black. It's actually not flat. It's got a semi-gloss to it. This is by Prismatic Powders. Going to be doing that because I'll show you. We painted my brother's engine the same color. And if you see, this is the matte. It's kind of flat and it's not quite gloss. It's got a little bit of a sheen to it, so it's gonna look really good. This bike's all dusty, obviously, but when it's shined up, it looked pretty sweet. As you can see, it's gonna match more of that color. I know a lot of you guys have asked so many questions about my powder coat setup. I was gonna do an update video on it, but I figured I'll just quickly show you guys again what I'm running here for a setup. So this is the Hot Coat by Eastwood 4x4x6 oven. I built this booth just out of sheet metal, painted it. I got a YouTube video on it. Made a rolling rack here for all the parts. I'm using the Cool Coat 2.0 gun. Got it all set up. Drove a 6-foot ground into the ground, so it's got a really good solid 6-foot copper rod. It's kind of my setup here. Running the air control unit with the air filter, and this is all my stuff, all my different powders. Always use Prismatic Powders. And then over here, it's my sandblast cabinet, parts washing station, which we're gonna get started with right away, engine mounts. And yeah, we're gonna get this thing fired up and start cleaning. Before we start cleaning, I also wanted to add these components here. These are the bottom half of the rockers. I'm gonna polish these, and as well as the tappet covers, or sorry, the rod covers. These are gonna stay chrome. So if you look here again, there's gonna be some elements of the bike that are gonna be chrome. So this will be chrome, these rod covers will be chrome, and then the back shock caps and a few other accents like the support on the rear springer seat. All of that's gonna be chrome. So this bike is going to be a candy red with metallic flake and black paint for the fenders, the shrouds, and the gas tank. And then everything is gonna be black with some small chrome accents. So it's gonna look pretty sweet. Okay, let's get to cleaning these parts. got all the engine parts on the rack. We're gonna fire up the gun and start putting powder on these parts. Everything's taped, plugged. This is what I've been using to powder coat the bolts. It's metal and it covers all the threads, so it does work pretty good. I haven't had an issue with it yet. I got the rocker boxes all taped up. Gonna start with all of these engine parts, powder these, and then I'm gonna move on and finish all of the front end parts. When I tape everything off, it's nice and clean for where the forks go. Everything got plugged. Okay, got all the parts powder coated that we're gonna be doing to get this engine back in the bike and start on the front end. So let's just go have a look at everything we did. Primary cover. This one was a little bit beat up. It's got some scuffs on it and stuff, but you know, it's 15 years old, but it coated pretty good for what it was. Taped it all up nicely. Rocker boxes, topper going black, tappet covers black, turned out great. Cam cover, belt guard, turned out great. Did the kickstand black, and we did the front end, turned out really good, the triple trees. So I taped in there anywhere we didn't want to get powder, so that turned out nice. We did all of the handlebar mounts. Those turned out great. Headlight. These are the top of the fork caps. Tape that off so we can get the O-ring in there. This turned out pretty good. Harley Davidson handlebar mount. The fork tubes turned out great. Happy with these. And we taped that off so the covers can fit on and the seals will go in. Plugged everything. Same with this part. Anywhere we didn't want powder. And yeah, we did like the engine mount bolts. The bolts turned out great. That's the rear axle bolt. And then all of the bolts have been powder coated and labeled. They turned out so nice. I'm actually really happy with how the bolts worked. So we have all of the engine bolts, front end, everything, starter, headlights, all of them are ready to go. So the next step is going to be putting that in there. Okay. We still got lots of powder coating to do, but you know, it's just smaller stuff. The big parts that we needed to get powdered to get the engine back in the bike are done, and I can start rebuilding the front end. So next episode, this frame is going to have an engine in it. Thanks for everyone for leaving the nice comments. If you guys want to follow the build, make sure you subscribe. And the next episode's going to be putting an engine in. Then moving on, we're going to get into painting. Still got more parts to powder coat, whole bunch of stuff. But this bike's going to look pretty cool. I'm stoked how it's turning out so far. Yeah, so I guess I'll catch you guys on the next one.